This is how God blesses. God blesses the land with rain. And then once he blesses the land with rain, the land becomes fertile for any man to utilize. Whether that man is a sinner or whether he's righteous. So whether you have killed 20 people or you are the most righteous person in the world, if you put corn inside the ground, as God has blessed it with rain, your corn will start to grow. And whether you are righteous, you are the most righteous man in the world and you are serving God faithfully, if you don't put corn inside the ground, nothing is going to grow. God blessed man, right? And he created a system of prosperity and he removed himself from it. You know why? Because God has a responsibility to all of creation as the creator. That is why God created a system and removed himself from it. Do you know when he created the system? Genesis 8 verse 20 to 22. God said, I will no longer, after Noah did a sacrifice to him, God now told Noah, I will no longer wash the earth because of the sins of men. For I know that they are always evil. God was acknowledging that man is always going to be evil. But then God now said, for as long as the earth exists, there will always be a time for planting and a time for harvesting. Day and night, rain and sunshine. That was the system that God created. He made it clear that for as long as the world exists, no matter whether people are sinful or not, he will create a season that rotates, where if people plant, they will see what the result of what they have planted. Therefore, my brother, why are you not utilizing that system? Why is it only those that hate God that are utilizing the principles? When a sinner, people you call sinners, when a sinner wants to prosper, he goes and begins to read books. He now begins to take action and he begins to get better and he never gives up. And then he gets what he's looking for. But when a righteous man wants to prosper, he goes and starts to go and pray. Prayer is not bad. You should pray before you start. But it becomes a foolish and a stupid thing when all you are doing is praying. All you are doing is praying. Instead of you to pray and take action. Daniel prayed 3 times a day, but he was the most competent of all the other politicians in Babylon. Why? Because Daniel loved to learn and he loved to work. He was good at the job. It was not because he was praying that they made him top head in Babylon. It's because he was capable. And although, yes, God kept him there, but he needed to be good at his craft. God is the blesser of all men. He's the one that gives all men on earth a bountiful harvest. But he doesn't give you a bountiful harvest first. He gives you seeds. In between that time of the seed and the harvest is planting, is the taking care of your soil, is the waiting patiently and the managing of your crops. Removing pesticides and all those kind of things. Now, because many of you lack understanding, you don't realize that seeds are ideas. You ask God to bless you, and that's a good thing. Like you're a child of God and you're suffering, you ask God, God, please help me. I know that God gave you an idea. Let me tell you about something about ideas now. Idea is wisdom. Idea is creativity. Wisdom is understood knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more wisdom you have. Therefore, if you cannot come up with ideas, increase your knowledge. You were praying for God to bless you financially, and God gave you a hint to go pick up a book, to go join a class, to start watching YouTube videos about money. How does money work? To understand what it takes. But no, you refuse to do the work. You choose to sit down, thinking that things will just work out miraculously. God cannot give you money because God does not have money. They don't use dollars in heaven. They don't use pound sterling in heaven. And physical gold is not what they use to transact in heaven. That's why the Bible says that it is the Lord, Deuteronomy 8:18, that gives the power to get wealth. God will not give you wealth. He will give you the power. That power is wisdom, it's skill, it's ability, it's enablement. That's what God will give you. And the reason why He gives you that instead of the wealth is because any money you don't work for, you don't have the wisdom to manage. If God should drop money on your head, you will destroy millions on you will destroy yourself. You will destroy yourself. Because you did not work for it. Go and check. 90% of all the people that won lottery, they have gone back to poverty. Some of them even killed themselves with the money. Is that what you want? That's why, my brother, follow the process God is putting you through. Because that process is not, you are not paying the price for the wealth with the process you are going through. You are preparing yourself. And it is when you are now qualified and you are now prepared enough that the money will start coming. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It is who you become. In business, as you grow and you learn more, your wisdom increases. And as your wisdom increases, you will be able to do what needs to be done and you become smarter. And it is a compendium and a combination of all those decisions that will lead you to great success. That's why the Bible says, get knowledge, and in all you're getting, get understanding. It is an understanding that knowledge will become beneficial to you. Then it will now become wisdom, and wisdom is what solves problems. Wisdom is greater than gold and silver.